It's the main event.
Is it?
Is it a good morning or is this the main event?
Is it a good morning?
It's just other people just bring stress into your life, and you just gotta deep breaths. I knew it was gonna be like this, so I should have just.
You gotta be like the Hulk. I spent the day yesterday with Graham Tate and the Hulk, and things bounce off him, and just bing, bing, bing. Come on, Steve.
Oh, it's bouncing off me.
A couple of them have penetrated.
Yeah. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and we got 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, joins us on Thursdays for about 30 minutes before he heads off to do his hit over there with the boys at KUPD, and Uncle Lou comes in. But before Uncle Lou, we got a legend in our own rights here, folks. Besides me, Dale Hellestrae.
Good morning, Stephen. Happy graduation Thursday.
Yes, right? Can't wait for it to be over.
This hasn't even started.
I know, and I can't wait for it to be over.
Oh, goodness.
What a morning.
Well, you got that. I'm getting text galore. My wife is staying with Scott and Hillary, helping with the kids. And
with little baby,
Avery. And all that. And our car place is like 2 minutes from Hillary and Scott's house.
Where you drop your car off for a service, right?
Yeah, and she doesn't need her car because they have two cars and they only have really two drivers.
And they're not going anywhere because they have a baby, right? Or not like everybody's leaving the house.
No. Yeah. And so I said, hey, you do have to do this transmission flush. They need it for more than an hour and a half or so, which I just stay and hang out.
Yeah.
Just drop it off, and I've had 3 folks. So who do I talk to?
Just walk in.
I'm like, that's right. You've never taken your car in 38 years of marriage. You've never taken your car
She's like,
in.
What do I do?
Yeah, it's like, who do I talk to?
Do I have to sit in it the whole time while they work on it?
I'm like, oh, my goodness. So I just got an email saying.
Same type of a thing, yeah.
It's been dropped off. I told her, just send me a text, give me a thumbs up when everything goes good. I have not gotten that yet, but it's already been dropped off. So
that's number one, just getting it in the hands of the people.
Yes.
And then after that is just find your way home.
Yes.
Just go find your way back.
Well, she's with Scott and Graham and Beckett taking them to school. So anyway, I've had a morning too.
Welcome to the program,
not
everybody.
As stressful as yours.
Oh my goodness! It's just when you have the plans, you talk about it, you have the plans all just there, you finalize them through 2-3 days ago, and then this morning it's like crumble them up and just throw them away. And it's like, I thought we had this.
We're sticking to the plan.
That's pretty much what I was saying all morning. Everything's fine. We're fine. We got everything.
Let's do it
live. Yes. But this afternoon, right after I'm done here, got to get out of here and or execute the plan if it doesn't change. It's out of my hands now, Dale. That's all I'm going to say. For the next 2 hours, there's nothing I could do about anything that changes. There's nothing I could do about it. So why even stress about it? It's stressful.
All of a sudden, Lou's talking by himself. So, Steve, what do you? Steve.
You just hear me swear as I walk up. God, it's like, walk off screen. It's gonna be a fun day.
I told you to remind me. We can get back.
I have it. I want to hear this betting story.
Again, when you say "Dang it, Steve," I said "Dang it, Dale," because. I said I watched the game last night. San Antonio, Oklahoma
Okay, which
City.
one? Yeah.
It ended up being a closer game than I thought.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember telling you, and if not you, I told John Holmberg and Dave Nash that Oklahoma City is going to win by double digits.
Yep. You said they were going to blow them out. You didn't give us a number, but you said it's going to be a blowout.
I said double digits.
Yep.
And I looked at the line. Oklahoma City 6.5. I said that's a gimme. Boom. Put $25 down on.
You even went big numbers too, huh? 25.
Put $25 down. Go to check my winnings last night after the game.
Mm-hmm.
A loss. I said a loss. It was 6.5 points. I clicked San Antonio.
Yeah, so you went the wrong side. Yeah.
I sit here and tell everybody, no, Oklahoma State's winning this game. There's no way that they're losing this game. The refs aren't going to let them.
As soon as you started this story, I went, he put the money on San Antonio. I'll bet you.
The refs aren't going to let them lose it. The NBA's not, and they're not going to lose it.
Did you reach out to DraftKings on Twitter?
I really meant to
or did
click.
You say, hey, I meant to do the Thunder.
I meant to hit Oklahoma City. Hey, you can go back and listen to our program.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have it. I have 2 programs where I said it on the sports podcast and on the regular show as well. I said it. I have proof of it. Dale's throwing in audio clips into his email to the company to get the money back.
Oh,
is that infuriating when you do that?
Oh, that's the first time that's ever happened to me.
Oh, really?
And
I've done that a few times.
I just remember looking at it going, you are such an idiot. Talking to myself, of course.
Yeah, nobody else can call
No, I can't blame anybody else. Nobody changed the plan on me. What a dummy.
122-113 winner. Winner for the Thunder. Somebody's a loser over there.
Oh.
It was closer than I thought it would be last night. And I thought the refs were going to dominate that game. So, look at the
San
NBA.
Antonio kept hitting those threes in the fourth quarter. It's like, what?
This is a series.
Yes.
This is going to be a series. I'm not saying the Thunder aren't going to win in 6 maybe or something and kind of break this open, but the individual games are going to be a series. Here's the problem, though. De'Aaron Fox out again. Yeah. High ankle sprain. We finally found that out yesterday.
Okay.
Because before they just said ankle sprain. It is a high ankle sprain. Harder to recover from those than just a regular ankle sprain. So what is his status coming up for the rest of it? They need him because now they lose Harper with the hamstring.
Yeah. Or quad or something.
Yeah,
Did they say hamstring?
I think it was officially a hamstring.
Oh, was it? Okay.
That's what I think I officially read. Yeah.
So that bothered me a little bit.
Well, quad or hamstring doesn't matter.
Well, he was holding his quad.
Yeah.
But
I'll look it up real quick. But I mean, the problem San Antonio's got now is just they're getting injured, and they don't have the depth that the Thunder have.
But the Thunder lost Jalen Williams.
I know. Well,
that hamstring again. So.
Yeah, but that's my point, though. Next man up for the Thunder probably is able to step in and play in the same position. San Antonio, you get down 2-3 guys, you're getting in that bench.
Right.
That's not as good as the Thunder. So. That hamstring on Williams, man, that thing is.
Well, it kind of seems like it's like the kid with the Suns.
Yeah, the Suns just in and out, and that sucks too because I'm really rooting for him.
Yeah,
Williams, man. What school did he go to down there? Perry? Bachelor? No, Perry.
No, Perry.
He went to Perry.
Yeah. Went to Perry.
And everything. So rooting for that kid, man. Get healthy, dude. Get healthy. But I mean, this is a series. This is going to be a fun series as well. Jalen Williams set for an MRI. Now, after he left yesterday, I mean, that did not look good. And second injury to it on top of it. The second one is always worse than the first one, in my opinion. Maybe not the injury, but the recovery side of it. You're going to baby it more.
Well, he's definitely out this series. And, again.
For the final?
Does he come back? Is he 50%? Is he – because now you're guarded. Happens the second time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're
the
not
injury
exploding.
The injuries might not be worse, but mentally, the way you're going to play on it. We saw that with holy cow, what's the Suns guy's name? We did agree. Jalen Green.
Jalen Green.
Remember that when he came back and then he would start limping, and then after the game they'd be like, "There's nothing wrong with him. It's in his mind." Mm-hmm. You're going to start getting into that side of it. But just the depth of the Thunder is ridiculous.
Yes.
But the fact that the Spurs were able to stay into that game on the road tells me they're winning. They're definitely winning one of these games in San Antonio.
There's no doubt about that. And, again, everything was set up for – you see it so often that if the road team wins the first game, they want to split.
Yeah, get blown.
So they come out not as intense and not ready to go, and the home team's desperate. And San Antonio still hung in there. So.
But here's the other side of it. San Antonio's young. It's almost like that. Those rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
It's more like we're just going to go out and play basketball. Whatever happens, happens. They don't have that mentality that normal teams have of, oh, we won this game, let's take next game easy and relax a little bit. They're just hard fought there and things of that. And I keep in mind, this is a team that the guy is still prevalent in the Spurs organization, but my opinion is he ruined basketball. I'm talking about Greg Popovich with the don't play until Christmas, rest everybody all the time, hack a Shaq, all of those, skirt the system and do the rules differently. This Spurs team's bucking that trend with the way they play. So I don't know. This is going to be a fun series, man. Fun series out there. But another fun series, Dale. Okay. We're going to talk about this. Is Ketel Marte coming out of his slump, or is Ketel Marte only doing this because he's playing two bad teams?
Well, you could take the Steve approach, or you could take the Dale approach.
And come up with that question?
Yes.
You just can't. I'm watching the game yesterday. It was a day game. Obviously we saw the game-winning homer the night before. And just in the back of my mind, I can't stop thinking of, great, you're doing this against the Rockies and the Giants. Well, fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic. But where were you against these other big teams? You disappeared for them, and now you're coming up? Now does this prevail them up? I don't know.
Well, I tell you what. Get a sweep. Again, how often do you talk about beating the teams that you're supposed to beat?
It's very hard to sweep teams in the league.
Yes. I don't care how bad you are, but to actually pull through. And Ketel Marte, obviously the game winner the night before, and then comes out, hits another home run.
Yeah. Well, and then it doubled.
And then the stinking bunt, understanding where they were and all that.
Because he keeps saying he can't run because his hamstrings are too tight. They don't want him to pull a hamstring. And then he's bunting and running it out.
Well, do you want him to pull a hamstring? Anyway, it was a great.
Did you really want to ask me that, Dale?
I was almost more impressed with the bunt.
No, it was impressive.
As the home run.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see him starting to get the swing.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking it. It's just that is a legitimate question. That's the problem with Ketel Marte. Is you have these questions when he starts to do well. Like, oh, man, he's fantastic. This is the Ketel Marte we want to see. And then you're like, oh, but it's against the Giants.
No, that's what Steve says. I say he's back. Now, if they can get Perdomo going at the same time.
Yeah.
Remember, Steve, what we talked about before the season started. If they can hover around 500, if they can just stay relevant, till all these guys start coming back.
But I told you, was it yesterday or the day before? I gave you the example of hovering around 500 ain't good enough this year so far.
Until you get these guys back.
I know.
Well, guess what? Now they're on a 4-game win streak. They can't be beaten, Steve.
Yeah, they're going for against the Rockies. And
hey, beat them. They count, don't they?
I'm not saying they don't count.
Or do they get .25 wins against losing teams?
Nope, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love what they're doing. But it's against the Rockies and the Giants.
You can't. You can't help yourself.
Whatever. When you played for the Cowboys and you were going up against the Arizona Cardinals, they'd won 2 games. You guys would come and be like, "Oh, it's the Cardinals. Who cares?" And then the Cardinals would play the hardest they played all year against you.
They beat the crap out of us.
Yeah, and you guys were like, "What the heck was that? This isn't the team we've been watching all year on film and everything like that." We studied them for a week, and that guy didn't lift his hand off the ground at all. And this time he's firing off like a missile and everything and disrupting our running game back there. And Emmett's getting hit like he's never been getting hit before from that defensive line and stuff to that. And then the next week, the Cardinals go back to being the Cardinals again. It's the same concept. It's just, is it there or is he snapping out of it? If he's done, I'll put it this way. If he keeps this going against these teams, which he should, and it doesn't keep going against the good teams, it's going to answer that question by itself. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Fantastic watching.
Congratulations on a sweep. I think their first sweep of the year.
Is it their first? Did they sweep early in the season?
I don't. They've been swept twice. Season opening series against the Dodgers. Yes. I think the Cubs got them.
The Cubs got them. No, but I'm talking about. I thought they. I could be wrong. The season.
I don't think so.
Season's been a long time right now, but I thought maybe they swept somebody early in the season.
They've won a bunch of series.
Did they sweep the Phillies? Did they sweep the Phillies? I don't know. I'm not going to guess.
I'm saying no.
But if they have, if it's not, it's their first one. They only have one or two, if that is the case, from that side. No, it's fantastic. Here's the other good news for the Diamondbacks. A.J. Puck's going to be back faster than you think he's going to be. Unlike Burns, that we're looking at middle of July, end of July with him coming, Martinez, same time frame. A.J. Puck threw 20 pitches yesterday to live hitters. They say his velocity was in the mid-90s. You still got to get stretched out, and a bunch of stuff has to be done to get that velocity up. They say his next steps are to continue creating some live situations. He's scheduled to throw in a game on Saturday at Salt River Fields and stuff to that effect. So he's going to be back sooner than you think. He's probably going to be the first one back, if I had to guess.
And obviously that's good news.
Help that bullpen out. Quite frankly, that bullpen right now doesn't need help.
Isn't it amazing they have this stretch of games where there's no off days? And the concern going in was, well, boy, we can't wear down the bullpen.
Oh my God, that's why they were pitching McCann. We don't want to wear the arms in the bullpen for without having a day off for a week.
And now you're sitting there going, well, they're not getting any work.
I know, and the bullpen was weakened when McCann went on the IL, and now you might get some help back.
Wow,
might get some help back.
You're ridiculous. And how about your boy, our closer, all-star closer?
I was waiting for that.
Huh?
I was waiting for that today. Yeah. The thing that I liked what I'm seeing from this Diamondbacks team now against the Rockies and the Giants here, so last 4 games, the 4-game winning streak. Thing I like the most is they have had to come back in these games.
Yes.
Win them late. That's the D-backs team we expect to see, and they lost that for a while. And now we're seeing it again. I like that aspect of it. They're just never out of it. Normally I would have turned that game off. Like the other night, I went to bed because they were down and Ketel Marte hits the home run and wins it. I don't know it till I wake up the next morning. Yesterday, I was like, I'm watching this till the end. Because this team, they had, Marte did the run to come back and pass them and stuff like that. And it's just so much fun to watch when this team, when they compete like this, and we're seeing that team again. That's what I like the most. That there's a fight till the end again. And it doesn't feel a lackadaisical and things to that effect also. But Dale, the big question here.
Oh, I can't wait for this one.
So A.J. Puck. Corbin Carroll misses yesterday's game. I get it. A lot of guys will have Wednesdays off, day games after a night game, getaway game, especially after you've won the first 2. A lot of veterans will get that day off. I get it. But Corbin Carroll wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Took that ball to the head in the first inning. Played the rest of the game, so for some reason he has to, next day take off, right? Wasn't Corbin Carroll's decision. Torey Lovello said before the game, Corbin could play yesterday and everything, but Torey wanted to give him a day off anyway, and today made the most sense to him. No symptoms, feels good. I understand he just needs a day off. To me, though, you put him out there yesterday. You show the world how tough this team is. You go up there and you go, I'll take a throw from the shortstop beeline with momentum from the center fielder. With the shortstop catches it and turns with even more momentum. To me, I would have put him in that lineup yesterday. If there's no symptoms or anything, give him Friday off. Give him today off. It's the Rockies. Put him back out there. Show how tough he is, baby.
Steve, I think when something good happens for a
Soft.
local squad,
Soft.
you try and find something negative.
It's not hard to
it.
find something negative.
Oh, it's a win.
It's
4 in a row.
It's softness from... But it would have sent a bigger message. We're not a soft team.
Nobody cares. Come on.
We all care that the Diamondbacks are soft.
I tell you what, the Dodgers...
The wind's at my back. Yes, they have the day off.
The Dodgers are not looking and go, oh, my gosh, they played Corbin Carroll the day after that? They're so tough.
Make no mistake, it's not for the other teams. It's for the fan base.
No.
Don't show us you're soft.
No.
Don't do it. Show us some toughness.
Congratulations, Diamondbacks. No matter what Steve says, we are not going to look at the negative part of this.
Throw up the NL West standings there for us, Kobe, if you will. If I did the stuff right for the show here today, the way I'm going, who knows what I've done right. We'll have to see here. Look at that. 2 games above 500, 3 back from the Dodgers, who have overtaken the Padres again there for first place in the division. There. Does the division even matter at this point? Should you care more about the wild
I
card
think
status?
you're always looking at the wild card, and if the division ends up somewhere down the road being of interest, okay. But
Okay, yeah.
you're looking at the wild card.
Yeah, more than the division.
Yeah.
That's this is all I was going to put up there. I've always said they're not winning the division. That's the Dodgers' job to win it, etc. But all year long I've been like, they can compete for second. Can they compete for? This is the question I got today. Can they compete for second? I'm not too sure they can. I think the Padres are still head and shoulders above the Diamondbacks in terms of talent and what they're doing. So we're paying for the wild card here, right? Which we always were because you can't win the division. But we're paying for a wild card spot here moving forward. Like, does anybody have hopes this team can strike up and win this division? This is a serious Diamondback question. Does anybody, diehard Diamondbacks fans, do you have any thought of the Diamondbacks possibly competing to win this division? Because I don't. I just think they're a 500 team. They're going to be competing for that last wild card spot. I don't know. Just wanted to point that out there. It's very similar to the Cardinals is what I'm getting at here. No matter what team you put together, you're just going to end up third or fourth in your division. The Cardinals case fourth all the time.
Wow. Boy, you know what? You
It's
got off to a
disappointing.
bad start this morning.
Disappointing.
It's graduation day. Hey, now you're going that the Diamondbacks are being compared to the moribund Cardinals.
You know, the funny thing is, I did the business show this morning more positive because yesterday was a negative day. So I did it more positive this morning, and then boom, right back to negativity here on the main event. But this is fantastic. The Diamondbacks are fun to watch.
Yes,
they
are.
In my mind, they're what we expect them to be. But in the back of my mind, you're paying some really bad teams right now. So it's good to see that they're doing it now because maybe this wakes them up and projects them into something. Fantastic. 3 against Colorado starting today, 6:40 p.m. They're in downtown Phoenix, 6:40 today, 6:40 tomorrow, 7:10. Wait, what is today? Today's Thursday?
Yeah. It's graduation day, Steve.
So 6:40 tonight, 6:40 Friday, 7:10 on Saturday, 1:10 on Sunday. You can see, and then because it's a holiday weekend. And then you've got, of course, Giants here for, and you're at the Giants for actually Memorial Day coming up. But no Memorial Day game. Good. So the Diamondbacks won't.
They did this last year, I think, too.
But the Diamondbacks won't screw up the influx of teams on a holiday, fans on a holiday, and screw up the food service and the getting in and all of that. So,
wow. And here I thought you'd come in here skipping a little different tune and be happy and all that. As the unbeatable Avalanche go down 0-1 to your favorite team from what you told us for a few years
that
now.
was the most beautiful game I've seen in my life last night. Let's get real about this. It was beautiful. I was talking to a couple listeners, and I were chatting back and forth yesterday in the afternoon, and they were asking like my opinion, like in-depth opinion and stuff like that. And I said, I think the Knights take game one. I think they're going to lose this series, but I think they take game one. And I even said, I go, there's going to be a couple games where the Knights are going to get blown out by like 3-4 goals or something and look like garbage. Just the way the Knights play with their age and experience or whatever. But, man, I'll get behind this bandwagon all day long if they play like they did last night. But, again, the question becomes, did the layoff of the Colorado, which was a few days longer, did that affect them when the Knights were fresher? Because they obviously had to play the Ducks. And now they both had multiple days off. You know, when they finished up Saturday, I think, and they didn't play till Wednesday or Friday, and they don't play till Wednesday and stuff like that. But 4-2 victory against Colorado. Goaltending of Vegas can shut down Colorado, and they got to be careful on that. This was fantastic last night. Let's go Vegas. Dale, I got to start saving up. NHL final. We go to those games.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, me and Adam have always gone.
Oh, excuse me. I
Okay.
thought we. I thought I'm sitting here right next to you, and you said
You
we.
wanna go?
No, me and Autumn.
No, you want to go?
No, I'm not going to be a third wheel.
No, you can just I'll go for you. We'll go to Vegas.
No, I'm not taking Autumn's spot.
It's not no. Well, no, she might not be available. I might need a new person for some of these trips.
Oh.
Didn't get summers off anymore. Might need a new person. Might need a new a
Wow.
number 2. She's gonna get so mad at me.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna start saving up for NHL final tickets. We always drive up there for one game. I would normally do this round as well, but the schedule doesn't match up right with the graduation and when I got the next couple of weeks. I can't fit into my schedule. NHL, be more accommodating to my schedule, would you?
Is Ethan even going to know if you're there or not?
Not till afterwards. Yeah, you don't see him once he gets dropped off. They
You
funnel
don't
off.
wave?
They funnel off to
Hillary Kendall always waved to us.
How do you find him?
You text him. He's going to have his phone. Hey, look up to your right. Your daddy's here.
This is the fullest this basketball stadium's looked in
Since
years.
Arizona was here. Hold on, is this Arizona game or graduation? And Steve, before I go, I got one more question to
I
ask
gotta
you.
get these stupid digs in.
I gotta get one more question to you. You drive on the 202 sometimes.
Yeah.
You
I switch
drive
it up.
I-10. You drive freeways.
Yes.
What's the fastest you've ever driven on a freeway? Be honest.
In town?
Yeah,
80,
in town.
85 would probably be the fastest
Yeah.
I've topped. I generally won't go faster than 85 for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
But 85 is just like when everybody else is going that speed and you're just like, I got to keep up with it.
Right. You got people.
Yeah, like middle of the day.
tailgating,
If you don't drive in the middle of the day, man, I leave here, on the days I leave here like 11:30 or whatever, and there's people just, I'm going 85 and people are.
Say you're driving to California and you're out in the west boonies of Arizona.
I'll set my cruise control at 80 or 85.
and maybe get up to 85.
Yeah, I won't go faster.
No, I mean that's flying.
Yeah.
What is it with these idiots?
Mm-hmm.
The latest being this Eagles linebacker Nolan Smith.
Mm-hmm. Where did he go to school, Dale?
The School of Driving, Georgia, correct?
Yes.
135 miles an hour again.
Yeah, well, it's like Hollywood Brown when he did it here, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
What?
Man. Yeah, I don't get it. At 85, there's sometimes like when you're driving on 60, and you got to get over it. I'm going 85, just cruise control set. It's the predictive cruise control or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's a car going 65, and man, you're on those things fast.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go. I'm never in that big of a hurry. But mainly, I set my cruise control for 75, 80 sometimes I'll set my cruise control for, and I'll let the cruise control regulate it, and generally you're going
I mean,
75
out
or
in West
whatever.
Arizona, the speed limit's 75. You
So-
can set it for 84,
Yeah,
85.
so I'll go 80, 85.
Yeah.
But I'll do 80, and then if somebody passes me going a lot faster or multiple cars, all right, 85. But yeah, I'm not going to go fast. Well, partly because I'm deathly afraid of getting a blowout, and having a blowout at 90, you have no hope of coming out of that without serious injuries. I know somebody that happened to, so that's why I think that way. But my bigger question is that a recruiting question at Georgia? Which is the fastest you've ever driven?
Yeah. Are
And
you
will
willing
continue
to
it?
go 135 miles an hour for the
It's
cause?
like literally, I was interviewing with Georgia right now, and I go, fastest I would go is 85. And I would go with the flow of the traffic at that speed. Otherwise, 80 is about 5 over the speed limit. They'd be like, thank you. Enjoy your time someplace else. Isn't it crazy? In town. That was in town, too. That wasn't out in the burbs. Like, I can understand. I'm not going to lie. I can understand going 100 if you're going to California. I could. You're just on this long stretch, boring, straight road. Yeah, if you want to do it. Whatever, right? To get caught, whatever. But in town? No, I'm sorry.
70 mile an hour speed limit.
Yeah.
135.
Yeah. And like I said, it's also the school he went to.
It's not the first, it's not the second, it's not the third, it's not the fourth. Crazy.
It just continues to have felony on top of it,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
What kind of car was it? I actually did not see what kind of car it was.
I don't. The stories I saw did not say the car.
Lamborghini or something.
He was a first-round draft pick in
Last year.
Yeah, I know, 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what kind of car it was. I didn't see what kind of car it was. If you know what kind of car it is, hit us up. TME Media AZ. What's the fastest you go there, Tiger? Because I'm sure somebody's going to go, you go 85, you're going to kill somebody.
No, out west, I'll go 9 over the speed limit.
Yeah, because my rule is if you're going to give me a ticket for like 10 and above, well, then you're just looking to give tickets at that point.
At 10 and above.
I mean 10 and below.
Yeah.
My opinion, you're just wanting to give tickets because there's people going faster than that out there.
Yeah, just wait a minute. There'll be somebody.
Yeah, you're just trying to get revenue at that point. That's my opinion on that. But like I said, in town, like that North 202, man, there's nothing on that thing. And people, I'll have that cruise control set at 85 and going 82 or whatever behind somebody, and just phew, 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 phew.
The upper 101 that happens sometimes.
That's the worst. But that's because you got all those Bugattis and everything you're competing with up there.
Bugattis.
Lamborghinis. You're dealing with that stuff when you get up to that level. Dale, go have fun over with the boys over there at KUPD.
All right. Well, I know that you're excited because Lou comes in and they'll carry you the rest away after this next little bit. Hope everything goes smooth. All the plans that have been put in place, I hope they're not torn apart.
If they do, oh well, I'll look up. I'll adjust.
Oh, because you're so good at adjusting on the run.
I'll just adjust.
Oh, no, I'm not going to see the Vegas Knights. You're still welcome with Steve.
Oh, she's invited too.
That
Big
would be
Brooke. We can have Brooke and you come along. They can go do what they want to do while we go to the game or whatever.
I actually, real quick, I talked to Graham yesterday, taking home from school. I said, Big Steve said hi. And he goes, Big Steve. Big Steve. I said, yeah, remember him from the radio station, the guy who swore when you were standing there when you were 3 years old?
He knows who I am.
Big Steve.
He goes, he used to have the cutest little kid voice, Big Steve. And now he's probably Big Steve. He did not say that. Nice try. That's good. Tell him I'll text him later. Come on back, folks. I'll get you going until Lou gets here.
Wow.
Come on back, the main event. And we're back here, main events. Dale's going over for his hit at KUPD. Don't listen to that garbage. Just kidding. Check out their podcast later on and listen to them. I better get a shout out today. That's all I'm going to say. Just kidding. Holmberg the other day was when he was in here because we produce here at TME Media their sports podcast. And I didn't have my glasses on when they got done recording that and everything. And I was talking to him. He was like my dad, man. He's all like, "Where's your glasses? Why don't you have your glasses on? Your glasses here?" I was like, "All right, Dad, settle down." So we're old Dobson buddies, I guess, here moving forward. But of course, we've already hit on a lot of the subjects out there. If you didn't see it there at the beginning, go back and watch it. We kind of did a round robin there with the short time we got Dale today. He'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the show. Lou's coming up here at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock as well. But, we talked about NBA basketball. I think this is going to be a fantastic series. So does Dale. We talked about it, Spurs Thunder. They're going to at least split the series when they go back to San Antonio. I firmly believe that. We're going to have a 2-2 series, best 2 out of 3 to win it and move on to the NBA Finals as well. I'm not sold on that level. I know Dale is on the Cavaliers and Knicks. We find out tonight if the Cavaliers can rebound. I think two things. I think, one, a devastating come-from-behind 22-point. They were up 22 points, lost the game in overtime, I think is a disastrous thing to happen to the Cavs, both mentally, physically, etc. in this game. So I want to see their rebound tonight before they go. I won't be surprised if the Knicks win tonight. I'm going to say the Knicks are going to win tonight at home. And all they're doing is winning at home. And the Cavs will have to go back, of course, and win there. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to tonight as well. I know you guys have seen it 1,000 times. Throw up the NBA playoff bracket, if you would, Kobe. You guys know it right now. Knicks are up 1-0 on the Eastern side. They play tonight. The Thunder-Spurs series tied 1-1 as well. I'd love to see both series be tied 2-2, right? Going into best 2 of 3 to win those series to get the rights to the NBA Finals. I will say this. I'm paying closely attention to the Knicks. Early afternoon graduation today, so I, will have time to get home and catch the beginning of this game, or at least be at dinner and watching it or whatever the plans are afterwards. But I'm closely watching the Knicks. The way that the Knicks play basketball, I'm not going to say they're going to beat the Thunder in the championship. I still tend to think the Thunder are winning the championship this year. I think the Knicks can score a lot of points, which is going to put pressure on the Thunder in ways they don't really get pressure on. They're going to struggle with the length of the Spurs and things, but the Knicks can score, and that's going to be a fascinating, fun thing. Now, can the Knicks continue it? They've done it all playoffs long. They did it with, 15 minutes left in that game, 12 minutes left in that game the other night, down 22, whatever it was. They did it then, but they didn't do it earlier in the game. So I'm going to be watching the Knicks very closely here tonight to see. Hopefully we get 2 series out of this, but at least we can count on the Thunder Spurs being a good one there on that side as well. Lots of injuries are creeping into that Spurs-Thunder series, though. Like you said, Jalen Williams out with the hamstring, MRI today. They've lost the Spurs, of course. DeAndre Fox is out. They're going to need him at some point, but high ankle sprain, scratched in the first 2 games. High ankle sprains are not something you recover from in a week or a few days. It's just, can you manage the pain? Can you not make it worse? When's he going to be back in this series? Is he going to be back in this series? That's kind of the question. But then again, the Spurs also lost the other gentleman with the hamstring as well. So their injuries are getting there. They don't have the depth that the Thunder have, as we talked about earlier in the show as well there. So we talked about this. The Vegas Knights beating Colorado last night. Throw up the NHL brackets for everybody. I know we're in the Final Four, the final 2 teams, or final 2 series, final 4 games. Tonight, Carolina plays Montreal. The thing to watch tonight, I do think, and we'll talk to Lou about this when he comes in as well, I'm not surprised the Knights won game 1. I was telling, like I said, off air. I don't remember if I said it on air, to be honest with you. I do think Colorado wins that series, but I think the Knights are going to give them a series. I'm saying that's going at least 6. But it's going to be a weird series because, now, I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado wins game 2 and they beat the Knights 6-2 or 7-2 or something to that effect. The Knights are going to get blown out in a couple of these games in this series and blown out standards. One, that's what Colorado does. That's also what the Knights will do in a series. We saw that with Anaheim, and we saw that even against Utah in that series. So I do expect that to happen a couple times. But the Knights, with their goaltending, it's going to be a fun series on that side. Now, Carolina's had the longest break ever, over 14 days off before they play tonight. Montreal is just a young, gritty team. They survived Buffalo in that Game 7 and got on there. Montreal can play defense. Montreal doesn't need to shoot if they get the lead, They can play defense. Carolina's dominant team in the playoffs here so far. Don't be shocked here, and we'll talk to Lou about this coming up here, but don't be shocked. Look at Montreal tonight to win game 1 because of the rest with Carolina. That is the most fascinating thing that you should be paying attention to tonight in that game. How does Carolina look early? How does Carolina look as the game goes on from sitting for so long? You can simulate all you want. I saw stories all week and everything leading up to this game. I saw where they moved the nets into the red lines, the blue lines, and they were playing inside to kind of ramp up that intensity. I don't care what you say, especially for goaltenders. How do you keep that edge with having so much time off in that series? For them tonight, money line plus 164 for Montreal Canadiens tonight. It shouldn't be a surprise. Money's going to be on Carolina with the way they've played in these playoffs. And I think Carolina's going to win this series. Just how much of a series can Montreal make it is the question. I ain't going to lie to you. You might look at that plus 164 number or wait till the puck drops, right before the puck drops. That might get worse. More people might put money on Carolina. I am thinking Carolina's going to be a little rusty tonight. And Montreal's going to be fresh and glued. Now, if the game goes to overtime or fights till the third, does Montreal lose their legs and Carolina will be fresh? Something to think about there. But think a little bit about Carolina. We'll talk with Lou about that coming up as well here when he comes in here at the top of the hour. Don't forget, Mountain West tournament, Big 12 baseball tournament is happening right now over at Sloan Field this weekend. Let me pull up the bracket here really quick. Just if you're a college baseball fan, you're in the East Valley, you don't want to drive to Surprise. For the Big 12, ASU plays tonight at 8 p.m. out in Surprise. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. But Mountain West Baseball Championship happening over there at Sloan Park. Game 1 here is 1:05 p.m. our time today. Air Force versus UNLV. Air Force the 3 seed, UNLV is the 6 seed. Game 2 tonight, you got 6:05 p.m. Number 4 Nevada and number 5 New Mexico battling it out in the Mountain West. Again, if you just want to see some high-level college baseball, Sloan Park over there in Mesa, 202-101, where the Cubs play their spring training games out there as well. San Diego State's the 1 seed. Washington State's the 2 seed. They're sitting there waiting for the winner of the games today. They play tomorrow. Same time frame, 1:05 and 6:05 tomorrow. Then Saturday, you'll have 3 games. 9:05 a.m., you'll have the non-advancing teams battling it out there in that 9:05 a.m. And then Game 6, 1:05 and 6:05 on Saturday as well. So just be aware of that. And then the championship would be on Sunday, 12:05. And if necessary, 3:05 on Sunday as well if somebody has to win twice is what we're getting at there. So Mountain West happening over there if you just want to see some competitive college baseball. I know the Diamondbacks are in town against Colorado. They leave Monday for San Francisco, so you have obviously Diamondbacks playing as well out there. So you've got the Mountain West happening today as well. Then you got the Big 12 baseball championship happening out there in Surprise. It's been happening for the last couple days out there, but ASU gets underway tonight. 8 p.m. is when I believe it is happening. Out there in Surprise, they play Cincinnati, who they did not play in the regular season, ironically enough. So it's one of those things where you go, what to expect for that as well. So I'm just looking here. I wanted to look up pricing in case you're interested. So today, they price them per session, by the way, per game. I'm just looking. So there's a 9 a.m. game today. Tickets are $30. $23. I see a couple 23s. They're $30. So let's look at tonight's game, for instance. Here. Sorry, I'm just doing this here. Section 106, row P, $20. Section 110, $33. Section 105. These are all behind home plate tickets, folks. $30. Outfield's $39 is what I'm seeing here as well. Yeah. So you can sit behind home plate in the outfield there and watch your Arizona State baseball team play Cincinnati tonight if you'd like. Some of the tickets do get into the $50, $51, $59 range as well, like around the dugouts. But there you go. It's an affordable game, whether it be in Surprise or out in Sloan Park there as well for today for the Big 12 tournament. It's been going on for a couple of days, but ASU plays tonight as well here coming up. Let me get you the schedule here. Give me a second to get through all this ticketing stuff I just pulled up, and it's just everywhere out there. Sheesh, that was a lot of pop-up ads that happened there as well. So Kansas is the 1 seed, West Virginia's the 2 seed, Arizona State baseball's the 3 seed. Arizona not playing in this tournament, did not qualify for the Big 12 tournament with their schedule or their winning this year as well. So today you've got UCF, Oklahoma State, 9 a.m. here. All these games, by the way, ESPNU is where you can find them, if not on that ESPN app there for you. So 9 o'clock, UCF, this is the 4 seed, Oklahoma State, the 5 seed. They've advanced over the to play in this today, 9 a.m. Excuse me, I trip over my words. Kansas plays Baylor here coming up. Baylor beat BYU 13-9 yesterday, so Baylor gets the benefit of playing Kansas. That's 12:30 out here in Phoenix time, first pitch. Then West Virginia plays Kansas State. Kansas State beat TCU. The 11 seed beat the 7 seed yesterday. Kansas State did beat TCU. So Kansas State gets to play the 2 seed, West Virginia today, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so 4:30 p.m. our time. And as I said, Arizona State, Cincinnati, 3 seed against the 6 seed Cincinnati tonight, 8 p.m. For that game as well. Winner of, now these are all the games here. So winners play tomorrow. So if you win tonight, so if Arizona State beats Cincinnati, they would play the 8 p.m. game tomorrow out there at Surprise as well in the semifinals is where they would play at that time. You have to win today, of course, to advance to that. They'd play the winner of the West Virginia-Kansas State game as well tomorrow if they go. And then the championship is Saturday coming up as well. So ASU underway tonight, Big 12. The bigger story here, you want to see championship conference baseball, Mountain West at Sloan, Big 12 out there, and, of course, Surprise for you out there. I wish if I didn't have this graduation and the stuff planned, I would totally be out there for the Big 12 for the next couple of days. I think that'd be fantastic to watch them as well. Let's go to the comments here, of course. TME Media AZ on YouTube. You can catch us live right now. We got the McCollum on Business and this show live. You want to subscribe to that YouTube page. We have a lot of stuff coming your way, movie review type shows coming up. We're just going to have some fun with that and talk about movies and things that we see out there. Got some ideas for some other things, that can't be made into half-hour or hour-long shows, or we got to figure out the formats on that. So we're just going to do little blurbs and things beforehand. So you want to follow that TME Media AZ and pay attention to that as well out there. The Robert says, looks like Old Timers is setting in for Dale. He said that earlier. He also said, I'm not a big Marte fan, but he has been hitting the ball hard all year. They were caught before, and now they're not being caught as well. He says, per Jack Summers, of course, the best group of people that follow the Diamondbacks as beat reporters. He's part of that Diamondbacks on SI group, Sports Illustrated group. He says, per Jack Summers, Marte's 130 points below league average on balls hit over 95 miles per hour. I get it. And I'm not a Marte fan. You guys should know that by now, right? He's too lackadaisical for me and my liking. So I give him a hard time on that. But it's fine. You're hitting the ball hard. The money you're making and the expectation level of you is you expect more from him. That's all I'm saying. I'm hard on him. I get it. And also, Jack says he's 200 points on balls hit over 105 miles per hour compared to above league average as well. So I asked earlier, do the Diamondbacks have any chance to be anything but third in this division? With there being, 2 games above 500 right now. Ann chimed in and said, nope, there's no way The Padres and Dodgers will be ahead of them no matter what. That's just kind of what you feel. Like, I didn't say, we all thought the Dodgers were winning this division, so you're playing for a wild card anyway. But with the Padres' struggles, new ownership, a lot of turmoil on their side, you were just kind of like, well, Diamondbacks can get that second spot here in the NL West. It's just, as the season's gone on, it feels a little fleeting coming up, at least in my opinion, and Ann's as well, out there as well. She does say, I'm still hoping for that wild card spot. I've said it for the last, after the Super Bowl run, the World Series run, this team is a playoff team. They have the talent for the playoffs. The Diamondbacks do. They should be a playoff team. They haven't done it the last couple years. They should be one. It's disappointing they're not in the playoffs these last couple years. They have the talent to be a playoff team. They're just barely missing out for a lot of reasons. Lou's biting his tongue over here right now. We'll get his thoughts on this coming up as well. Robert, and we were talking about the speeding stuff happening out there, and I mentioned Hollywood Brown. Robert says, to his defense, the only time Hollywood Brown was fast in Arizona was while he was driving. That's great. That's fantastic. Papa Mike says, if the Thunder make it to the Knicks, their defense and ability to steal the ball should slow down the Knicks scoring. Well, you would think so, right? But this Knicks team is just defying. I don't even know what word to use there. They're just, man, they could score a will when they want to, and they showed that coming back from 22 down late in that fourth quarter, then game one there. I still think the Thunder will win it, but I'm paying attention to the Knicks with the way they can score out there. And Brunson, doesn't matter how you got him. Now, he had Harden on him. And the interesting thing about tonight's game, I forgot to mention this. The the Knicks coach flat out said, we were attacking James Harden on his defensive side. James Harden can't defend a wet blanket right now, or cold, or whatever you want to say. Lou's better at this stuff than I am. He can't defend him. He can't defend anything right now. He's terrible at defense. And they attacked him. They said it. How did the Cavs counteract that? Because you can expect it to happen again tonight as well. What you want to look at from that. Robert says, Harry Bonds is going yard tonight for ASU. Yeah, they have a prolific home run hitter there at ASU as they get underway with Cincinnati tonight out there in Surprise as well coming up tonight. Couple quick NFL stuff out there for you. I found two things interesting around the NFL and the national stories. First one, obviously a lot of complaints of the international games from a local fans because they lose a home game. I've told you all along they're going to 10 internationally. Interesting enough, did you see that little side asterisk yesterday? I put it out on Twitter. The NFL announced they're approved 10 international games. That doesn't include the Jaguars game at Wembley. That's a standalone game. The Jaguars want to be over there. So you're actually going to have 11 international games. You could have up to 11 international games with Wembley not counting for the Jaguars as an international game. So they snuck an extra one in there on us in the fine print underneath it. But interesting thing here, and I told you they're going to an 18-game schedule, and they're going to an 18-game schedule because every team, that 18th game is going to be an international. Every team is going to play international every year, but you're not going to cost. My problem with the international games is you're taking home games away from your bread and butter, the American fans who buy the tickets, who watch these games, support the teams, etc. Add the 18th game and send them international, I don't care at that point. Because we don't have an 18th game now. You add a game, goes overseas, we don't lose anything. I don't like it when you go international and you lose some games. I don't like that side of it. So add the 18th, we'll go from there. But then I see this yesterday as well. Ari, My Sports Update, NFL guy that covers the NFL and everything, he put out this video there about international games. What other markets is the NFL looking at for international? We already know now they go Madrid, Rio, Mexico City, Spain. Well, that is Madrid. Geez, Steve. Germany, what I was trying to think of there. So they're going pretty far into Europe now. These aren't short hop, skip flights. It's not like going to London from the East Coast. They're going a little bit deeper, right? And then going all the way down to Rio in Brazil the last couple of years. They said they're looking at markets like Japan, Singapore, which that's not too bad of a flight. If you're going to London, you can go to Japan or Singapore. Not that big of a difference. They're also saying they're looking at countries like United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. That's a long flight, folks. The president has to stop and get gas when he's traveling to that parts of the world and everything. And Air Force One, those are long flights. How do you work that into the schedule to have guys have enough rest on the backside is kind of the question. Then the last thing on the NFL side I wanted to bring up, those of you that follow this show know, I think this gentleman's a remarkable talent. Hall of Famer, 4-time MVP. I take nothing away from his talent level. I don't like him for a lot of reasons. One of them, I feel that talent wasn't utilized to its fullest potential. He should have won more Super Bowls. I think his attitude, I think his always having to have the most money, right? Not sacrificing it all and keeping down the team, his constant complaining, his not listening to the coaches all the time, cost him a few Super Bowls with really talented teams. And then just the off-the-field stuff with the whining constantly and blaming his teammates. He does nothing wrong. Of course, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. But he's a remarkable talent. He's a future Hall of Famer. You can't take his talent away from him. I just think he's underutilized that talent. Well, he announced yesterday that he is retiring. And then just this whole concept of it kind of cracks me up. I'm going to show you the video when he gets asked this question. And just his response to it. It's just, the gloveness just kind of gets to me a little bit. Here's Aaron Rodgers yesterday when asked about his future plans after this year. Here we go.
Aaron, do you believe this could be your last year? Do you even think of that right now?
Yes,
As in your last year?
this is it. Yeah.
I mean, the guy asked the question, and he goes, yes. I was like, well, which is it? Is this your last year? Where is he going? Good old Aaron Rodgers. He says when he retires, you're not going to hear from him again. I, for one, welcome that day. Come on back. Uncle Lou's coming up next, folks. It's going to be a fun Thursday. No UFC this week, but we have a ton to talk about, including last week's fights. We'll get caught up on that. Baseball, college baseball, NHL. I'm sure he'll chastise me about Aaron Rodgers or something to that effect, too. Let's see what Uncle Lou has to say. Come on back. The main event. And we're back here, main event. Thursdays means Uncle Lou joins us. You can catch him as a contributor on the Visa Network. Of course, Gamblou.com, Gamblou on Twitter, all the fun stuff. And Lou, I would say you get a little bit of a breather this week, but you're busy wrapping up with the other sports. How you doing, first of all?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. It's a great time of year. Our weather in Phoenix is usually really hot by now, and our evenings have been in the 60s still. So everywhere you look, it's sunny and bright, and there's so much to be thankful for. surely this hour each week something I look forward to.
Yeah, I do as well. I know a lot of people out there do as well. I had somebody message me yesterday and go, "There's no UFC this week. What are you and Lou going to talk about?" Oh, we've got things, folks. A lot of it out there. So just in case somebody's joining us for your college baseball that we're going to talk a little bit about with conference championships going on here in town next couple of days or next 3 days as well, NHL hockey. Just tell everybody where they can find you and interact with you and all the fun stuff.
Sure. So as Steve mentioned early, I have been a contributor for the VSiN Sports, the Vegas Stats and Information Network in Las Vegas since their inception in 2017. I'm really proud of that because that's a legit platform for our industry that really, at least the branch I'm taking is of transparency and profitability. I really take from my roots in Omaha, Nebraska, business concepts that everyone there learns from the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, and try apply them to sports gaming. That's the goal. And through public records, you can see that sometimes I'm really good at it, and sometimes I'm not so good at it. But the record's out there. You get to see it. I have a website called gamblu.com. That's where you can find out about me. The most important things about me are on the bands across the top of the webpage. I do a couple podcasts each week dedicated to the UFC, and there's no UFC this week. So really what we'll gravitate to is the most important tab on the webpage, top right, San Xavier Del Bach Mission, which is the oldest mission in the United States, located just south of Tucson, Arizona, here in the Old Pueblo, or outside of the Old Pueblo, Tucson. They're doing great work right there. There's a link on my website to them. I'm a huge supporter of them. They're indigenous to Arizona. I want to be a contributor to Arizona. To me, this is the best way. And Steve lets me broadcast this on his platform each week. So thank you.
Absolutely. And look, I do the business show every morning, and that's just some days are tough out there with what the economy's doing, and we know how things can be tight for people. So if you can if it's not them, find a charity. You can help out in these times out there as well. And like I said, kind of takes away that seediness of what you do, Lou. The old 800 numbers is what I'm referring to.
No, and really, believe me, I've been in this a long time, and for most of the time, I was like the little Peanuts character, Pigpen. You know, the little kid that walks around that was dirty and had all the stuff around him and everything. That's what it was like to be a gambler before PASPA 7-8 years ago allowed legalized gaming. So it's interesting that, you know, I had an odor for decades, and now in the last 7 years I've been able to share my thoughts on platforms like VSiN. Yeah. So, you know, the whole industry's come a long way.
Yeah, it's been huge. Well, I did a story today on the business show about the World Cup gambling and the money expected to be spent on that. It's ridiculous. Well, it's ridiculous amount of money. So, I mean, just showing legalized gambling. That doesn't even include friend gambling, and, you know, some people still use offshore stuff and things to that effect.
Many people still use
so
offshore.
That didn't even include that. That's just legalized gambling. It was $2.9 billion or something like that, and then another $2 billion on those, you know, Kalshi and Polymarket. Those types of sites. So that just shows you how this industry has just gone. And I'm sure VSiN's going to spend a lot of time on World Cup coming up here.
Well, they will, but this is still an American audience. And the good thing that the Cup is being played in North America because it's right here. But each year it grows. And I'm the one to say that the greatest tournament in the history of sport is the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I'm correct. However, if one is I'm talking about the importance, but if one's talking about magnitude, meaning people and eyeballs and popularity, then unfortunately Stanley Cup playoff or anything you could mention pales in comparison to World Cup because of how international and what a world sport it is. And I accept that. So when I tout the Stanley Cup tournament, there's always a footnote understanding that the king of kings is the World Cup. And I must recognize that. I think anyone that doesn't is missing out. But I make the distinction because I think the kids that play at the Cup, as I have a Twitter it's not a cartoon. It shows a hockey guy with his nose falling off, and it says hockey players pretend they're not hurt, and then he shows a soccer player on the ground holding his leg, and soccer players pretend they are. I love to use it. My brother
they
was
get
a
hauled off
soccer.
On the stretchers, and then they stand up and run back
and then
in.
they're right back in 2 minutes later. I mean, so anyway.
That one. I forget who he is now, but that one hockey player. Turns out he played with 2 broken vertebrae. Played like 20 playoff games or whatever it was with 2 broken vertebrae, but they got eliminated last round. Forget who the player was now. But it's just an amazing stat there on the hockey side.
Yeah.
Before we get into anything crazy, Preakness last week. You're a big horse racing guy as well. How'd that work out for you?
Not really well. I'm trying to think how that one ended. I had I had the Black-Eyed Mary Preakness Daily Double. The Black-Eyed Mary is the day before, and I had that winner, and I had it with like 4 horses into the Derby, and of course the horse that won was not one of my 4, and so
wasn't it? Yeah, very few people's 4.
But I have to say,
Napoleon Solo, by the way, won the Preakness.
Yes, when I say I use 3 different handicappers. I mesh their thoughts, and then I take the best, because that horse handicapping is still somewhat beyond me. It's also unbeatable, and therefore I know that that's a sporting event I go into with X amount of money. I know I'm going to lose, and I tend to play trifectas, because if I'm going to lose it, at least if I hit something, it's going to pay me, and it's pretty good. A couple seasons ago, I did hit the Derby try for several $1,000s on a $60 bet.
Yeah.
But most of the time you're contributing, and that's what I do in horses. That's why I limit my expenses. Have fun. You watch it for a minute, and then you're on to the next fight.
The thing that I find interesting, Kentucky Derby, the horse that won it, were last place coming into the backstretch or the front stretch, I should say. Last place,
stretch. You were
had
great.
to win it, and then won it, right? Won it barely, but it came from behind. This one, less than a horse distance here to win on the Preakness. We're seeing really competitive horse racings, whether you're into it or not. You're not seeing a horse 4 lengths ahead just dominating these races, things like that. So it's been kind of fun with one more, of course, coming up here for the
for the Belmont.
Yeah,
and here's what you had for the Derby. You had a competitive horse race with world-class killer horses. And here's what you had for the Preakness, a somewhat competitive Preakness with goat meat. And here's what you're going to have with the Belmont, a competitive race with world-class horses. What's the gap? There's too much. There's not enough time for rest to treat the horses right in between those 3.
It's also the length of the Preakness. If you're a sprinting horse, you can't go run the 2-miler because you're not prepared to have that thing.
There is no can't.
They don't want them to not do it.
They've had horses do it. Also, the Preakness this year was not at the normal track it's normally at, a smaller, tighter track. So there's all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, cant's not the right word. They
I
should.
have fun with it, but I know I'm losing that money. So if an NFL bet is 1 unit, I'm spending 6 cents on a horse afternoon, and I lose a few hundred.
Yeah, I don't remember what the winner of the Kentucky was now, but it was like 24-1 odds, 22-1
long
odds.
Trained by the young lady who we saw. And how great was that to see her?
I thought it was
like
fantastic.
Then
in this one, the 10-1 horse that went into that race, 10-1 odds there, won this race. So you're not just seeing close races, you're seeing long odds horses winning these races also. So I don't know if it means anything, but I think it brings a little bit of excitement to that as well. Whether you gamble on it or just want to watch it, I think it brings some excitement. The favorites are nowhere to be found.
It means no one knows. Even the great horse guys. I got one of the guys, he is so good. And he's missed now for a couple races, so I can't wait for the Belmont, because he don't miss 3-4 in a row. He just does. The guy
back out there.
He's awful good. So I'm going to make sure I know where he is Belmont Day.
Yeah. Before we get into it, no UFC this week, but we do have questions about last week's fight. We'll hit up UFC first before we do hockey and stuff, since it's a down week for them. They're taking this holiday weekend off. Before we get into this, though, I just want to make Lou's blood boil here really quick.
Uh-oh.
Hey, did you watch the? Did you enjoy that Ronda Rousey 17-minute armbar fight there on Netflix?
I
the other
didn't.
night?
I didn't watch it. I won't. I don't support shams like that. And it's getting to the point. I don't know how long it will take me, but eventually I'll move from the UFC as it's gravitating that direction quickly.
Yeah, I don't support those fights either because they're just gimmick fights. They're just throwing money at people. It's a money grab.
I wanted to see
and stuff.
Perry and Nate, and Perry's legit.
Okay.
Perry's legit, man, and he's 48 cards, so you don't want him.
Yeah, so it was amazing. 17 seconds armbar.
Her.
Oh no, I'm talking about. I'm just going back to that.
And then they're making out with their tongues afterwards, almost. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all business.
Well,
and who gets beat? The
fans.
people watching that. Now it was free, so nobody
Well,
really
you have to
gets
have
beat.
Netflix. No, but afterwards, the 90. I watched the press conference after. That's what I did pay attention to. Like 90% of the questions were something like, "Do you feel bad stealing money for what you just did out there?" And things like, because everybody was kind of going with the idea.
And they didn't at
this
all.
Is on my, oh no, she said, I have a family to feed, and we have limited lives in this, and stuff like that. So yeah, she's very thinking, but it was an interesting.
Answers.
Yeah, it was an interesting after effect. I know you're not a fan of it. I just wanted to bring it up just to kind of get you going.
What
Either am I, by the way.
stuns me, and here's a quote from George Carlin. I have it with his face. He's like, it's like, imagine how, he says stupid, how unintelligent the average person is. And then you got to realize half of them are more unintelligent than that. And so every time there's one coming I just read about, Mike Tyson against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, coming up.
They're saying, hey, stupid people, pay us money. We'll put some circus on a Saturday night and you can watch it.
we're gonna make
And the
10
people
millions.
pay their money as fast as they can, then afterwards complain.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
It's amazing. Well, the reason why I brought that up first was because those are entities.
So we could get past it quickly.
Well, yeah, that, and I'm leading into something.
Uh-oh.
Those are done by entities, not part. Like that's Netflix, but there wasn't UFC wasn't involved with it. A major boxing organization wasn't involved with it.
Yeah, no, it was was MVP.
Yeah.
So
I mean, big company, but not like a standalone.
a company trying to get bigger quick,
Yeah,
and Rousey's out there panning to
exactly.
be the Dana White. So,
Exactly.
so who knows what'll happen?
But then you got announced over the weekend, Conor McGregor is coming back to the UFC.
Yeah.
From that perspective, I know it's your blog entry this week.
Yes, it
that's why I got a
is.
glimpse of it there. But I even put out after I saw that commercial in the fight on Saturday night. I put out there and I go, is he going to make it to that fight? Is he going to show up in it? I have doubts that he wants to fight and things to that effect. You know, something might happen leading up to it when he's got to back out, meaning he might go crazy or something. But just really quick, your thoughts on Conor McGregor coming back to the UFC ring?
They're all in the blog. And I mean, basically, his history tells me that you can't trust that the fight will go down. If it does go down, what happens at the last minute? His competitive advantage would be to say, I don't know, at the last minute I can't make 170. Now we got to fight at 175, 178, and here's Max, a 145er, now beating ass at 155, but now he's going to 170.
Yeah, now he's gotta
and
get
at the
bigger.
last minute he has to be a company man and shuffle off. I don't trust Conor. If you look at the blog, it lists the reasons why I don't, and it's basically been his public record over the course of the last 5 years that he hasn't been fighting tells me that not only has he been away from the cage, but he's been away from training in the cage.
Everything.
And they're going to feed him Max. And Max has earned this by being such a company man. Yet, at the same time, I don't know what the contract reads, but my suspicion is that this fight has very minimal chance of going off when scheduled at 170. That would be my public position.
Okay.
Now, if I'm wrong and both make weight at 170, at that point in time, I would probably choose to get involved.
But that's a big move up from a 145 fighter to a 170 guy. With
Well,
the
he's
guy
a
that can
155er in his last few fights in the BMF fights,
Yeah.
and when he fought at 55, he weighed 168.
because
170.
Connor's a big dude. Like people don't realize that he's
Oh,
not
walking
a
around
flyweight
210.
out there. Yeah.
He's got a bottle of proper number 12 in one hand.
Well, he
bag
sold
of
that,
blow
so I
in
don't
the
know if
other.
he still carries that around with him. But yeah. But no, I just your thoughts on that because I saw that and I was just kind of like, don't get me wrong, it's going to have huge eyeballs on it and stuff like that if it goes off. But I kind of was like, oh, really, UFC? You're going
from a
gimmicky now
betting
too?
perspective, you'd have to. I think Connor's like a plus 250 or plus 300 if you want to go somewhere to try and bet that. And I would tell you that if the fight were to, in fact, go off, the rats that'll be betting the Irishman will be coming in so bad that he could be pick'em by the time that,
That's
or
the thing.
minus 140 by the time that goes off. So to get him plus 300 now, put that in your pocket and wait to bet into that fight might be something that is worth considering.
Yeah, all right. So that's the only reason I brought up the Ronda Rousey was to lead into. Just my initial thought was, man, UFC's going for eyeballs, which I get the Freedom 250 fight is all for eyeballs.
I think the Freedom 250 tarnish prompted him to step it up and get Connor and Max signed.
Really?
That's my thoughts.
Okay, yeah, because that's the thing. Because it just, I don't know, it just seems a little gimmicky. It's like we don't need to be gimmicky here going forward. But I understand it's about eyeballs and things to that effect. That 250 card's getting interesting. That's going to be fun to talk about when we get to that coming up.
No
here in June.
doubt about it. You got that, you got personality.
When you open up with Diego Lopez in that opening
Stevie
fight
Garcia.
there, and that's your opening fight. Holy moly!
I mean, that's a barn burner for a main event, let alone opening.
That's the
fight.
thing. That's the opening fight. Yeah, it's that would be a great.
In just
final
about a
one.
year and a half, we've really converted Steve into a refined UFC fan who knows a good fight when he sees one announced.
Oh yeah, no, I see him now, and I even
mean
see,
that one there jumps out, don't
yeah,
it?
well, it does. Even people like me that aren't into this, I saw that and I was like, woo, let's go. That's going to be fun. Whereas then you got the Meta Apex fights like the one last week where I'm still like, I don't know. On this side of things, you mentioned a couple of fights last week. The Cody Brundage.
And he won for us. How
and he
about
won.
that?
I know. Second round, 44 seconds. KO, TKO. I like Cody Brundage in that fight. Petrosky, of course, the
Got
other
all
gentleman
swole
there.
up and slowed down, and Brundage got him.
Because I don't remember what you said about it, but I saw a lot of people saying Petrosky just being bigger, stronger going into this fight. And Brundage really showed up in this. Does it change your opinion at all on Brundage moving forward?
No, I had that one pegged.
Yeah.
Petrosky can get all swole up and slow down, and
That's right. That's what.
Brundage
okay,
has kids. He's a dad. He's a scrapper. He's had some bad luck in fights, and he was plus 180. That was just wrong. And that's as much a fate of Petrosky as it was for Brundage. We'll see what happens after that. But that one was a good one for us. I had that one on VSiN as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you had that one on Visa if I remember seeing that
Yes.
on there. So, yeah, I thought that was fun. I really like Brundage as a fighter. He just, I don't know. There's just
I like
something
him
about
as
him
a-
where I gravitate towards him.
When I like the man, then I tend to want to like the fighter, and that's why I don't get involved with these fighters. Now, I spent a lot of time at a gym here in Phoenix, but I'm in the shadows and I'm in the background, and what I'll do when they walk by, I'll hey, how you doing, young man? I just fist him, but I'm not in there talking to him and interacting with him. I'm there trying to watch the sparring, and there's numerous coaches around barking instruction to the fighter that allows me to learn unbelievable amounts. One of the original lab members, Yadi Meza, has a young man, great guy, friend of the lab. He's a founder of the lab, basically, but he's got these kids, and one of them is this 20-year-old razor blade training there, and that's another reason I go there, because I see this kid coming up here, and he is half razor blade, half bad intention, world-class wrestler in the business, meaning growing up with a dad in the game. Holy moly, is this kid gonna be special? And I mean, I got excited. They had him in there working against a couple of kids, and it was it's great to learn and check all that out. And it's rare, as I said last week, for me to have a pick on an undercard anymore, because we're getting such a level of talent that I don't know them all the time, and I don't mind admitting that. I have a database that's 750 people long, and 650 of them I know
crazy.
well. But the last 100 that should be cut, sometimes they're new, or if they're fighting a contender person, those are watch fights. So anyway, Brundage was a good one.
A lot of favorites winning over the weekend.
9-4.
But when we get into the main cards here, Malcolm Wellmaker was the favorite going into that fight against Juan Diaz. Second round submission.
Yes.
4 minutes and 8 seconds for Juan Diaz on this one, which made me think a little bit about you and say, what's Lou going to think about this submission artist? I'm going to call him Juan Diaz here after this fight.
I'm going to think great thoughts of him, because on the Bout Business podcast, I have enough fortitude to take him on the plus 210, but we took him on the points. And if you win by finish, you win by the points. And so that was a nice winner for us right there. I didn't expect that kind of performance. It shows you Wellmaker, athletic young finisher, gets a couple flash knockouts, and what the fast forward process is of the UFC, because that's what they want to package is that violence. And then you expose a young man like that to two well-rounded fighters, and now UFC don't care about Wellmaker's mind or where he's at. Now that kid free falls down, has to come back, be a lesson for him, but it should be a lesson for everyone else. These young kids are just chewing gum to this organization.
Oh, absolutely. Next one there, another upset right afterwards. Choi against Daniel Santos here in this one. South Korea Brazilian. The underdog there. I think I saw right before that fight, I was looking at it, and I want to say it was plus 140 range going into that fight. But Choi gets the win and the KO knockout. 4:29 left in the second, or into the second round as well. Here, your thoughts on Choi?
Yeah, Choi was the fighter with the experience, the IQ, the patience, and the power. And Daniel Santos was the fighter with the aggression and the flash early power. And the flash early power won the first round against Choi, and then as he slowed down, Choi went out there, measured him up, and just lined him out. That was a loss. I had used Santos in a parlay, and before the fight, I was talking to a friend of mine in a faraway place, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm on the wrong side here with Gamblu, because this Choi is a high IQ, and if he can weather this storm, he's going to ice this kid." And so it's unfortunate when that happens, and I see it like that, and the fight starts, and then that's what happened when I release the other guy. I know I didn't bet Choi. I didn't, I had already bet Santos, so I don't do that, but I kind of knew I was a sitting duck right before that fight went off.
Yeah, it's never good when you know right before it goes off, right?
Well, then if you do feel that, hopefully then you're wrong, because 46% of the time I am. So.
Yeah. Then the main card here, Aaron Allen against Costa in this fight. Ended up being a unanimous decision toward Arnold Allen here. He was the favorite going into it. I enjoy Costa's fighting, to be honest with you. I don't know what it is about him. He stood in there till the end, takes a beating, but then still can fight back. Doesn't give up at all, but Allen kind of dominated that fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did, because he's been in with too high a caliber opponent, and he's faced the top 5 elite in the division for 7 years, and so you can't bottle that or ship it out. Now, Costa is the beneficiary of that, because he just saw what that took, and that's going to improve him. Look out for Costa in his next fight. And we'll have to see what happens with Arnold Allen. But that was a nice win for us. Hey, that fight opens Pick'em. Monday, Allen's minus 190. Tuesday, I write the article for VEASAN, and he's minus 165. And I said, wait, because I think it's coming back. And then it goes to minus 120 is where we got it right before the fight. So these lines can be erratic. Sometimes they move funny. People don't get it because it's not an NFL market. It's not the stock market. It isn't efficient. You got people that see one thing move, then why would that move a dime? I'll bet it. And another guy. Pretty soon you got a rapid ascent like you had with Buckley and Brady a couple weeks back. Oof. And so you can take advantage of that kind of stuff. So I guess the lesson learned here is that Allen did us right. That was a good call, and we get a week off, which was really needed to clean my mind and not have to worry about my podcast for a week and kind of look into hockey, check in on some baseball tournaments and everything else.
So with the holiday really quick before I get to the podcast stuff, Arnold Allen, I was amazed at his confidence after he wins this fight, and they're interviewing him and stuff like that. He thinks of himself as a champ, which you should, I guess, right?
Uh-huh.
He thinks of himself, is he going to get the opportunity to keep fighting these top-level guys going forward? Is he viewed as what he thinks he's viewed as in the UFC?
By competent mixed martial arts
A guy
enthusiast, he is.
Okay.
By the fans, because they see all those losses, he isn't.
Yeah.
But you look at those losses: Max Holloway,
big guys.
Evloev, Jean Silva. I mean, come on, those are 1, 2, and 3 in the world, man. If that's who he's competing with every day, I mean, you don't want that. You don't want him. I mean, and his issue is he doesn't finish enough. Now he finished Dan Hooker some time ago, and he could have really used to have finished this fight.
Yeah. He was mad he didn't. That was the first thing he said.
Believe me, he's trying because he knows. They know, the fighters know, to get bonuses and to get front row treatment, baby, you got to go finish the person. It's loud and clear, and so it makes a guy like Allen, who's primarily a wrestler, wrestle less because he knows he's trying to get himself a win. Then meantime, you lose 2 or 3 fights trying to put on a show. Then you go back to your wrestling and win 1 or 2 and say, hey, I've won 2 in a row. and now you got to go change again and throw fists. So, this thing is really not tailored for the benefit of the athlete, unfortunately. But what the UFC is doing with it is predictable. I saw it in the 80s with boxing, and none of it is really surprising me as we go.
Yeah, and that's what struck me as odd about Allen was, he was very, first thing he said was, anytime a fighter gets out of the fight and wins it, and then he goes, I need more finishes here. This is ridiculous. I can't get this finish. And then he gives him props to the opponent that he stood in. I mean, Gusta stood in there. He took some beatings and just kept standing there taking them.
Well, motivated kid on his way up. I mean, nothing but respect. You're right, because Allen teed off on him pretty much.
I thought at one point the ref was going to call it, to be honest with you. And the ref didn't step in there. It just aren't, to me, guys like Allen are just an interesting thing because I think he's a great fighter, but he's fought the best and lost to him now. So
but
how do you put him back up? Yeah, but how do then you got to put him back up against those guys when you can have those guys battling, and he's kind of in that in-between mode where he's really good, but not good enough for that level, but he's better than everybody below him. And so it's interesting to see what they're going to do with
I don't know if he's not good enough for that.
Well, like I said, perception-wise.
If they gave him Evloev again, I think you'd have another split decision.
Yeah, so it's fascinating from that side. So off this week, obviously the holiday weekend.
How great is that?
So Monday being a holiday doesn't mean UFC stops for next week. Your Sneak Teep podcast Sunday night, Monday morning as usual.
Yeah,
next week?
Monday's Monday. I don't care what kind of President's Day or Labor Day. That don't mean shit.
Memorial Day.
It's a Monday, and especially in the NFL, that holds especially true. Or Sunday night, the lines come out. You're so busy Monday.
So this week we go to Macau. We're going to China. Song versus Figueiredo is what you have to look forward to next week as well. So catch Sneak Teep. About Business will be back. No About Business this week. So it'll be back next week with Uncle Lou as well. At that time. But this fight over in Macau is going to be, I think, a fun one for a few of these fights. We'll have to talk about, obviously, a lot of Asian fighters from the Asia-Pacific area battling it out in this fight. But I also noticed, we don't have to go into it, but I also noticed some U.S. guys making this trip and some long plane flight Brazilians making this trip.
Yes, and if I may,
wake me up.
Can I maybe just as gently as I can correct you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the flight to Asia is long as a mamma jamma. It's the same as to Macau, basically.
Okay.
You were thinking that to go to London or to go to Asia is close to the same. It isn't quite that close. Going to Asia and going to Macau are very, very similar trips. Yes. They're 10 to 12-hour trips where
Japan,
Chicago to London's 6 or 7. So not that.
Oh, did I say that earlier? Oh,
I
was talking about the going to Brazil and going to like Germany and those inside European places. Is what I was more
far be it from me.
No, you're right. Correct me. Do it, Lou. Do it.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Lou's last time on the show, folks.
I couldn't help myself.
We're all good on that.
So Macau. So here's while I'm checking for Macau is what time? Okay. 1 a.m. Pacific time.
It's one of those
Okay,
fights.
what we're going to understand is that's a Friday night, so early Saturday morning. In the East Coast, it's 4 a.m., so it's easy for them. For me, it's 1 a.m., which means you probably won't get my first release till the main card when it's 4 and I'm up and walk the dog and come and watch some fights with a latte.
Lou, you can watch the prelims, though, before you go to bed.
No, Daddy and REM sleep at 1 a.m.
By the way, 4 a.m. is the main card start time, our time here. So
that one I could probably catch, and I'll have a few bets there. And I love when you have a morning card like that. Takes you to 8 or 9. I do a little yard work, and then what do you got? Some hockey. I know some people are basketball fans, but I'll watch hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. So got you set up on the UFC side. I want to hit that first since they're off this week. We got college baseball to talk about, NHL. Have some fun here as well here in the second half of this hour. So come on back with Uncle Lou, the main event. Lou's here as well, having some fun here on this Thursday as well. Appreciate you joining us, whether it's live here on Robat TV, of course, on the YouTube channel now. Lou, I never told you, we've been live on YouTube here. We were testing it out for a while and everything. So we're going to start advertising it now that we know we've got all the bugs worked out and everything. So just so you know, we've got watchers here on YouTube directly now as live as well. And then everything's on demand there as well, but obviously did some UFC talk in there and everything. Before we move on to the college baseball with the conference games going on, right here we're going to blink and have the regionals here pretty quickly. And then, of course, talk NHL. Aaron Rodgers is retiring. I gave my thoughts on him earlier. I'm just curious on what your thoughts are of Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to retire after this year.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Let me be clear.
I have no thoughts on it. I think Pittsburgh will do the best with him that they can. They'll figure it out after him. It's not an issue with me. It's strictly business. And I do most of my NFL due diligence in July once Warren Sharp's 500-page NFL study comes out. And so it's a non-factor.
I'm just curious what you thought about him as a football player, because to me he's one of those dichotomy players where you respect the talent, you love the talent, you love what he does, and then he's just got all this extra stuff that you're like, I hate you
but
for
I
this.
don't handicap nightlife. I handicap Sunday afternoon football.
It's not like stuff. I just feel he's underachieved on the field, but I get it. How do the international games factor into your? How do you even handicap an international game? Let me ask you that side of it, because you got travel, distractions.
Yeah, you handicap all of that, really. I mean, that's why in July I'm looking at 18 weeks with each team and how that sets up. Not only am I checking out the strength of schedule, but who they play and when. And in each week's NFL, because there's so much travel, one team inevitably has a 1 to 7-day advantage in rest over another. For instance, you're coming off a bye. The other team had a Monday night game. It's a short week for them. You're coming off a bye. That affects the point spread. And I need to know every situation on every team all season long for that by the end of July, because that's in a scheduled form, and I can look at it week to week. I don't have time to handicap it week by week, so I do the whole season in July. And so all of that matters. Rest factor, strength of schedule. Do you have any new coordinators, or do you have a new head coach? Yeah. Who were the new players that came in, and which ones were replaced? What's your defensive lines ranking? What's your offensive lines ranking? And what is their ranking as far as budget next to the other 32 teams? So I want to know which teams have the horses, because I've talked to Dale about this till I'm blue in the face. To me, football's won in the trenches where men play. I played football from the 60s to the 90s, and I was a skill player, believe it or not. But that being said, I know how you win games because we played behind horses. And when you play behind horses, man, you're faster, you're quicker, your moves are better, you catch the ball easier. And the team with the horses is the team that I handicap with great advantage, and all that's done in July.
Interesting you brought up rest days because, we all pay attention to that. But you dig into it, of course. Warren Sharp had that out, I believe, earlier. Bears have the most rest days, plus 15. And I want to say the Chargers were like minus 32 or minus 23, something like that, on their rest days on that.
I don't think it could be that big. It's probably 20.
It might be 20, 23, yeah. But that's true, 30 would be kind of extensive. I'm going off of memory on the Chargers, but I know the Bears were plus 15. The NFL is claiming rest days don't matter. They've kind of had that narrative here over the last week or so with the international games and people complaining about their schedules. And, some people in Congress are paying attention to the NFL right now for whatever reason and stuff like that. But how important is those rest days in your eyes?
Yeah, no, it's critically important. And the NFL, unlike the UFC, the NFL has to deal with the players' union. So they just clear it with them. Mm-hmm. How many games, how many practices, whatever, they have to negotiate. Where the fighters in the UFC are told, up yours, do what I tell you or leave. Okay, so at least the NFL, those players have some kickback. But what it's inevitably going to do, what's the Players Association want to do? Pay more players. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go to 20 games in a season pretty soon with no preseason games. Mm-hmm. You're going to have larger rosters. More people are going to get paid, and the Players Union is going to claim success. Meanwhile, the NFL will balk at that, yet they want more games, so they'll have to pay more players.
Chargers, by the way, minus 24 rest days, according to Warren Sharp's start there. The closest team to them, Philadelphia, minus 15. That's a big disparity if you factor in rest days there, just from the worst team to the team right before him as well.
And last year, San Diego had similar disadvantage. I don't know what the negative rest was, but it was bad.
It was bad, yeah.
And that, sometimes that happens a couple of years for a team. It happened to San Fran like 3 years in a row, but it was injuries, and then they win a Super Bowl. So you kind of got to watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of changes Harbaugh makes, and I keep wanting to say San Diego.
I know. I was just going to comment. I go, man, I love how you call it, because I still slip up and say San Diego. I always do,
too. But be that as it may, the rest thing is real, and hopefully for the Chargers, it's front-loaded, and it's the first 9 games of the season, and then they sleepwalk into a bye and have a chance at the end, as opposed to being backloaded. Well, if they have it at the back end of their schedule, then they really have no chance, because it's at the end of the season. You've had your bye, you're short on rest. The other team has more rest, and you're trying to make the playoffs. It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's they broke it down. They play 4 opponents that are coming off a full bye, so 14 days rest basically before they play them. 2 opponents off a mini bye, meaning they play a Thursday night, for the short one. 1 opponent with 1 extra day rest. So that's how you break it down to get to that minus 25. To me, that's a huge disadvantage when 4 teams, and I don't know who they are.
Well, you got to look at their advantages too. Their advantage will be 1 day over, the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, or so they don't have any positive advantage in those games, only negative. Yeah. So that's tough.
Yeah, it's fascinating on that rest. And you always talk. You were the first person that I know of that focused on that and talked about it. Now we're seeing a lot of other people get into that.
Yeah,
as
but
well,
but all the other people they won't read the 550 pages of Warren Sharp and make the notes. What they'll do is they'll watch VSiN and try and lift this and lift that, and I can get that, but from what I do, I got to read it.
Absolutely. So,
and I've told Warren, I said that there's only one person that knows more about this book when I'm done with it than me, and that's you, bro.
Because you wrote it.
Yeah, it's you.
But even then, he's like, I forgot half of it by the time I got done with it.
This dude's,
I know he's
the real deal.
He's literally sharp. His name is not wrong.
He's on a couple different NFL teams' payrolls.
Is he really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, on the breakdown, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
just thought he was independent.
Or let me say, he may be independent now, but he was.
He was at one time.
I know he has been employed by NFL teams.
It is an amazing thing. I don't know why the NFL wouldn't hire him to kind of gauge that, because when you're making the schedule,
what he has to say.
Yeah, because if you're making a schedule and you go Chargers are plus 25, closest team to them plus 13, like. Can we manipulate this and help them out a little bit? Yeah, they don't care.
Because it works out everywhere else. Because what they're doing is chasing good matchups in primetime games.
Yeah,
and so
then
they got it, and then it's crack the whip, and then it's like that toggle game. You throw the coin and it hits all those things, and you see where it lands. Where's it land? Arizona. Where are you going to see Arizona this year? Nowhere.
A lot of Sunday afternoon games, or early morning Sunday games as well on the East Coast. Right?
No belief in the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they cared about that stuff, they wouldn't have the 49ers traveling not just to Australia to begin this season, but then in the beginning of December going to Mexico City on top of it. If they cared about any of that. So, and all of that. But, hey, let's get into this. I know we talked before about these college baseball championships, it's setting it up. We'll have to see it. We know the top level of the regionals are pretty much going to be set on some of these teams. But Big 12 tournament, ASU plays tonight at 8 o'clock. I know Mountain West is happening. Mountain West winner. Does it work the same in basketball as it does in baseball? Does the Mountain West winner get an automatic bye into the 64 regionals, or is it that doesn't work that way?
Top 16.
Okay.
Usually your top 16 in your rankings will get those positions. It could be a little bit of a change. Of those top 16, I'm counting 7 SEC teams, and at 17 is another SEC team, Ole Miss. So you're going to be heavy SEC. You're going to be heavy ACC. You're going to see Big 12 in Oregon State, and another rogue. What's West Virginia anymore? Big 12 maybe?
Yeah, they're Big 12, yeah.
So
they're the 2 seed in this tournament.
Yeah, and the futures, boy, the futures I have working are in great shape. Arkansas just lost an important player, but they're looking better.
I think all your futures are alive, if I remember right.
Except for the only can of corn is LSU, actually. LSU, yeah. Who'd have thunk it? But you never know what they you never know what they may or may not do. Probably not much. You're going to miss some. So right now they're getting into conference tournaments. I have no input as to what happens there. I'd like to see how these 3rd, 4th, 5th place teams in the ACC and the SEC fare against the top teams as they're moving ahead. But I can't worry too much about the totally top teams in the SEC because they're going to pitch some competent pitchers to get there. But when they know they're a number 1 regional seed, they're not going to play hard into Sunday, Monday, compromise the arms they're wanting to save for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, next
so
week.
There's levels to betting this. I don't do it, but I watch it and look at the results.
But you at least pay attention to it, set up for the regionals
I'll watch
and things.
Each day who's beating who and who's facing who. Yeah,
because that's the thing. That is one thing, and we're going to start seeing this in college football. I know you don't cover college football as well. We're just going to see where this conference tournament, the top level teams. So the top 2 teams could face off in the championship game, but it's not going to be that heavyweight battle you're looking to see because they're going to be resting guys and things to that effect. And it just takes away a little bit from the sport at this point. But I get it. It's bigger than the conference champ. Winning the conference championship doesn't matter. Winning the regional and getting into the super regional and getting into the World Series is what matters, right?
It's all about the
for
Benjamins.
These schools out there. So it'll be fun to watch. That's going on now. Don't forget, surprise. It's been going on since Tuesday, but today 3 games today. One just started at 9 o'clock. ASU plays tonight at 8 o'clock. Winners play tomorrow. And then, of course, championship game coming up on Saturday out there at Surprise as well from that side. And then we got hockey, Lou. Last night, Colorado Knights. I picked the Knights to win that game last night. They went out and did it. I was impressed with their outing. I still think Colorado wins this series, probably in 6 games. But your initial thoughts there of the Colorado Avalanche after a few rest days for them?
Yeah, I think that Colorado has everything it needs to win every kind of game it needs. However, they're going to be hugely challenged after having to go through L.A., which they went through in, 4 games?
4 games, but they were
Those
tough
are
4
ti-
games.
And
Overtimes.
LA played a heavy defensive game. And then they had to go through the Wild, and now we're seeing McCarr out. For McCarr to be out, his leg must have been cut off, something like that. It must be substantial for him to be missing time, and we're starting to see some little chinks in Colorado, and you have a team in Vegas that's won cups, been in the playoffs 5 of 7 years they've even been around, and they bring in Torts to coach the team, and he's like 16-4 since he got there. They you must respect them. We had them last night plus 160. I'm happy to say so.
Perfect.
That was a good one. Got them in some other considerations personally, but at least Gamblu had them last night plus 160, and we're probably not done with them. I absolutely believe they're poised to be able to win this series. I think it's going to be a really tight, close series. And at the end of the day, these series pivot on a goaltender. And I think the goaltender for the Knights might be the one that's able to stand up over the 2 Woods for Colorado. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how those go. So
just for the thing, you got them at plus 160. I don't remember what I got, but it was a plus number last night.
Yep.
But for tomorrow night's game already, they're plus 160 dogs for tomorrow night as well. Colorado's minus 192 into this. So Colorado losing, it doesn't look like it's affected their line at all going into tomorrow night.
that's the opening line, and the makers are saying they're going to come in on Colorado because it's a must-win, and so we better price it high, and it's 192 right now. And so when you look at this on Wednesday, Thursday, when you look at this on Friday, 5 minutes before the game goes off, Vegas won't be 162 anymore. They'll be 182 or
it'll slide,
178 or something like that. It'll go up because the amount of people betting Colorado on the must-win at home, and it's such a loosey-goosey great spot for Vegas that I probably won't be able to say no to that growth in advantage on the line.
Yeah. The over-under, by the way, 6.5 on the puck line. So they're expecting high-scoring affairs. Or they're at least setting it up to put money down.
Or they got one 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Whenever they
That was last night.
Was it last night?
Yeah, last night.
It's 4-2.
4-2.
Oh,
yeah.
it was an under last night.
Yeah, it was under. Yeah, and it's fascinating to me with these goals. Now Colorado can put up pucks, we know that, or put up goals, we know that.
They can win anyway, but Vegas approached them like L.A. And that game was for 2.5 periods. That game was all L.A. Colorado with Vegas playing heavy, experienced hockey. They're talented with an edge in goaltending, and so this is going to be way closer series, I think, than people thought. They thought Colorado just going to run through the roses and make this easy, and I don't think that's how it is.
The thing about the Knights that worries me, though, is they have games where they just get blown out and look like they're not there to play. They've done it all playoffs long. They always have at least 1, maybe 2 in a series. So that worries me a little bit. I expect them to be coming, but other than that, I expect them to be competitive. And this series goes 6. Then tonight you've got Carolina Hurricanes, who I think they played like they played 8 games in the last month and a half. It feels like for them, they get back on the ice against the Montreal Canadiens. I'm shocked that Carolina's 205 favorites tonight, plus 170 Montreal. Just because of the rest factor going into this and everything like that. Your thoughts on this series coming up?
What surprises you about the line, and what rest factor makes you surprised?
I expect Carolina to come out a little rusty tonight, and Montreal is definitely in play tonight.
Right, and the last time Montreal went 7 in round 1 against Tampa, they came out against Buffalo and couldn't move.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And so We're going to see which way it is. Most people believe that the rest, 11 days, that's the most since like 1908 between series for a team. And so I've always been a proponent of the team coming off the short series has the legs because their minds are used to the ferocity of the game, while Carolina will take a period or two to catch up to that. I believe that to be the case, especially since Montreal laid such an egg in game one in the series against Buffalo that Martin St. Louis will be talking about that with them. I think we're going to get a great situation with Montreal.
I worry about this game late because Carolina will have fresh legs late in the third period. And if it goes to an overtime, whereas Montreal, I think their legs might get a little bit tired on that. So, yeah, worried about that side of it.
Not in 3 periods, I'm not.
You don't think so?
I'm maybe middle of game 2, I'm not. And here's what happens with Carolina. Yeah, we're talking about discounting them early because of the legs without question. But if this game goes 6-7 games, now you got to give them their credit at this point in time because of all that rest they had. Because in 6 or 7 games, they're going to be as ferocious as the other team because they'll have played 5 games of NHL Stanley Cup playoff hockey, and that's what you got to worry about. So Carolina is poised to make a deep run. They're also poised to slip on the ice maybe in game 1 or 2 tonight, and Montreal goes home 1-1.
The other thing that worries me about Montreal, they showed this in Buffalo especially, even in Game 7, they had the 2-1 lead. They will go 16, 20 minutes without a shot on goal on the other end. They just play that defensive style. And I think that allows the other – you can't do that against Carolina. They'll put the puck in the net, I think. So that worries me about Montreal when they go into those defensive modes. That worries me going into this series as well.
Yeah, not me. I think they have to play that kind of game against Carolina. Carolina wants to play defense. They want to get 1-0 lead and grind it down. So I see low-scoring, tight defensive hockey here. And if a game gets out of line, I think it's to the Habitants' advantage. I think Montreal can absolutely play with Carolina.
Interesting. I know you've looked forward to this, sir. You thought Montreal's a better matchup.
We have 14-1 on Montreal if you were reading Gamblu months ago. And so now we're sitting there with 1 unit to win 14 on Montreal, and all my clients are wanting to know, what are we going to do tonight? I mean, they're asking, what are we doing? What are we doing? I was like, hey, I got 2 days to look at it. But believe me, we are going to do something. I've said numerous times over and over again. My use of futures, that 14-1 for Montreal, that was never intended to ride out and win 14 units. What it was intended to do is to get me to this series and put myself in a position that no matter what happens in the series result, if this happens, I won money, and if this happens, I won money. So it may not be 14 now because I'm going to lose some of that in order to go win-win, but to me, future bets are only a tool to ensure I'm going to the bank with a deposit, because I take money to the bank, not positive EV. All the theorists will want to debate me, but the theorists ain't betting their own money on these things year after year and game after game. I was taught by old world Sicilians, and they say, Louis, you take money to the bank, not anything else. So that's what I try and do, and I will have a plan and a scheme that's already drawn up that will be released on Gamblu.com tonight. You'll get it on the hockey page, and you'll see how I want to attack betting into the 14-1. Should Montreal lose, what are the positions that I will have on Carolina to help me earn money off of that 1 unit loss? Now, when I got Carolina, I don't have to get too cute. If I only got 1 unit to win 14, I got a lot of wiggle room in there.
Absolutely. Interesting you said, Carolina can win a game 1-0. They don't care. Montreal will go extended period of time without shooting the puck and playing the defensive side. Over/under on tonight's game is 5.5 on the puck line, minus 122 to the over tonight. Is that because of the Carolina rest factor that maybe there needs to turn into a high-scoring affair tonight?
I think
or something.
I think it's because 2 good goaltenders. You got Freddie, who's one of the favorites to win the Conn Smythe. Oh, by the way, Gamblu future bets. Stankoven, who is a Carolina Panther, 19-1. McKinnon at plus 550. Hart, the goaltender from Vegas, if they get there, he's a consideration, 75-1. Now we don't have to have a lot of money on a guy at 75 to 1.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
was going to
saying?
say, yeah.
We got Freddie at 19 to 1. We've got Wedgwood at 19 to 1. Today I added 2. One was Marner, 12 to 1. See, I'm starting to address Las Vegas now because of what I've seen. And Dobish, the goaltender for Montreal. I gotta have something for Montreal in there because I'm gonna use that 14 to 1 in this round, squeezing profit. So I want something should they move into the next round to have. And at 18 to 1, Dobish, the rookie goaltender for Montreal, would be a great consideration. You know, you haven't had any kind of story in Montreal like that since Wah or
It's a fantastic
who
story.
was before Dryden. So
Well, I was gonna
this
say-
would be a huge thing. I'm a big Canadians fan, so those are our futures. And you're saying, well, yeah, you got all those. You've lost a bunch. Nope, one Vasilevsky. So they're out of the tournament, and we had 20 cents on him. So if you're betting $100, we had $20 on Vasilevsky. So that's a loss. That's already in our numbers. So we're really good in futures. We're in play, and we're in play day to day. Road teams 36 and 32 in the NHL. So when tomorrow comes and you're thinking, man, Colorado needs this game. They're at home. Why? The home teams aren't even 500.
Yeah,
A lot of pressure on the home team.
which is on the
And
other
there'll
side.
be
It is,
tremendous pressure on Colorado with no Cole McCarr. And we don't know what other injuries each team is hiding.
Well, that's the
By
thing.
now,
Yeah, that's
all
just we
four
know he's
teams-
out.
all 4 teams are dinged up.
One of my favorite things about hockey, I always talk about this, is when the year Jonathan Quick was a rookie and the Kings were an 8
That
seed
was
and went
my
and won
best
it.
hockey year
And
ever.
my favorite thing about that is I saw a picture of the Kings before the playoff run, team picture, and they all their padding was all normal. And then you saw after they won the Stanley Cup, and they had the after Stanley Cup, and all their leg padding was like 4 times the size it was from the beginning of the playoffs. All their shoulder padding was thicker. You know, they look bigger. It's just they take the beating in these things. They're all injured. It's a matter. Some guys have broken backs. Some people have broken bones. Some people have broken feet. They're out there playing. You don't know those angles of it. And I just love this sport this time of year.
You
so.
talk about the toughest athletes ever created to walk the earth, and the first athlete that comes to mind is a hockey player because they play 3. Oh, what about an NFL guy? Well, an NFL guy plays 1 game a week. Hockey player plays faster on ice with blades on 3 times a week.
Yeah.
The hockey player starts out at $1.85 at the beginning of the year, and he's nothing but bone and gristle and a little bit of ice skates. And by the end of the year, now he's 175, and he's just bone and gristle.
Yeah.
But these guys are tough as nails, and they're the toughest athlete ever known to man, save for one athlete,
Rodeos?
the rodeo cowboy.
Yeah.
You show me a dude that has a 1,200-pound bull over there, and the guys are saying, hey, let's tie this bull up right where it's most sensitive, and then you get on this bull's back and ride him. No, the rodeo cowboy
It's not just the bull guy.
far
though.
exceeds the hockey player, and then the hockey player far exceeds everyone else.
It's not just the bull riders. I grew up in that era. My grandfather was a roper and things like that. The roping guys that just sit on a horse and rope, they lose fingers and cut up, broken backs, stuff like that.
Oh, they're jumping off horses and
Yeah,
pounding.
it's
Oh,
not
no.
just the bull guys when you get to that.
Yeah.
Really quick, I have one more question for you, but before I do, Cutter Gauthier for the Ducks was the gentleman that we found out played the whole playoffs with L1 and L2 vertebrae fractures.
Yeah, these guys.
To playing on that, and just afterwards they released the injury report, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
find
L1
that
and
out,
L2 struck," and you're like, "What?"
That'll happen after the cup too. We'll know what McCarr is suffering from.
That's
a
the
broken
issue.
femur. It's a broken shoulder.
It's got to be bad
it's
for
something.
for a captain to be missing games here in this situation. Last question for you, just on Montreal. You mentioned their goaltender, who I like a lot. Rookie. Are you watching him closely here in this series? I mean, because Carolina's got the potential to make some goaltenders look silly. Are you worried about his mentality at all because he's a rookie going into this, or it's just let's go?
Well, no. I mean, I think what he looks at is his opportunity to put his
Shine.
name on the cup and
Yeah.
step big in Montreal history. any hockey fan would love to see Canada do well. Many American hockey fans may not, but I do for the good of the league, and I'm a big Habs fan from when I was a kid, if I can be called a fan. But I'm not afraid of the rookie in Dobish. I'm more afraid of the attack in Carolina after game 2. So if the Montreal can't split early and gets down 0-2, it could be a really tough goal for them, because at that point in time, Carolina could start really catching some momentum.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I want to also, and then this is going to sound dumb, but I want to see how Carolina reacts to losing a game. They haven't done it yet. I just not that it'll be negative.
They had Philly won one, didn't they?
No, they swept their
Okay.
they swept 8-0. So not that it'll be
They'll
negative.
lose one in this.
They're
series.
not gonna fall.
hope.
Yeah, right. They're not gonna fall apart or anything like that. But I will be paying attention to the post game kind of. Are they just kind of like, hey, it happens, we're moving on with our life, or do they kind of lament it a little bit? Not that it's going to affect anything. I just want to see the psychological shock of losing a game when they're not used to doing so.
Well, for the last 3-4 years in a row, they've gotten deep and they've gotten to this stage and they've bumbled. So they got that to overcome.
Absolutely, that's the other thing, and it's being talked about. I haven't seen off game practices and things. For the last week, I've been seeing Carolina putting the nets on the blue lines, and playing shorter, trying to get that game time practice. It's been all over the places, and it's almost like I kind of take it like Carolina's feeling the heat of not getting past this series a little bit with all the questions, so they're trying to manufacture all this stuff. So I'm fascinated to see how they play from that perspective. Robert does say, I would love to see Marner win the Conn Smythe, if only to give grief to Leaf fans.
I agree.
Yeah, the Leafs, Toronto fans, and the whole organization. Lou, appreciate it as always.
Thank
Lou
you
will be
for
back
having me.
next Thursday, UFC next week. Don't forget, Sneak Teep on Sunday and Monday this week, even though it is a holiday weekend. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, here on the main event. Come and join us, folks. We'll see you then. Have a great Thursday night.